welcome to another episode of Allure of the Poor, sponsored by Dresita Wines. I am your host, Lori, and today we are traveling to Rioja. And I have with me Julio Saenz and Rafa, which I don't have your last name, that are with La Rioja Alta. And so welcome. We're going to talk some Rioja wine. Welcome, both of you.
Thank you, Lori. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the opportunity to show our wine to your program, and we are very happy to stay with you this afternoon. This afternoon, that's here in Rioja, and I think this morning in USA. Okay.
Yes, it's almost afternoon. It's like 11:30. It's almost afternoon. So Rafa, you want to do a little brief introduction of yourself?
Oh, thank you. Yes, same as Julio. Very happy to be here. I'm not in Rioja at the moment. I'm in Panama. Okay, so that is a nice triangulation. Okay, so I'm from La Rioja too, and from La Rioja Alta. And what I do is I'm in charge of what is the market in United States. Okay, so and I've been for 16 years in the company.
Very nice, very nice. So you kind of are the reason why we get to drink this wonderful wine here in the United States.
Well, you can say that. Not really, The wine was in the United States long before me.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. So welcome, both of you. So we have Julio with us today, who is the winemaker for the La Rioja Alta. And I'm so excited because really I love Rioja wine. And when they reached out to me and asked if I wanted to do this interview, I, of course, jumped at it. So that I love talking to winemakers. I love, hearing the story behind how they got into the wine industry and the wines that they make, because I truly think every winemaker puts part of their soul into every bottle that they produce. So it's always worthy to know what put that in there. So my first question is, during research, you were originally into pharmaceuticals. So
Yeah.
what was your career in pharmaceuticals, and then how did you go from pharmaceuticals to wine?
Well, when I started to study, my first idea was study like pharmaceutical, because I love the health, the medicaments, the all of them. But when I finished my career, I returned to Rioja and I love the wine. I know, and I decided start a new degree in viticulture and enology, because I love the wine industry. I love the wine experience, and I think that the pharmaceutical could be one of the best degree to understand better and better what is the wine. It was very easy to me to follow my degree in viticulture and enology, because my previous career of pharmaceutical, it happened. It was a very successful idea. It was fantastic. My family is not in the wine business. My family is in the fruit business, but I decide follow another other way to more exciting, in my opinion.
I gotta go with you. So my undergrad training is microbiology. So
Okay.
I get it. I get it. Wine is a lot more exciting than microbiology, but it plays a big role. It plays a big role into winemaking. So the sciences are linked there. So I get it. So is there a wine that left such an impression on you that you can still remember what it tasted like when you had it?
Well, when I was studying enology, I had a group of another friends, and particular days we have a meeting to try another wines from another part of Rioja, another part of Spain, another part of the world. But one of my friends gave me one bottle of Imperial Gran Reserva 82. In my opinion, was incredible. Was very exciting, very complex, very elegant. I don't know in the I don't know in I didn't know in this moment the Rioja Alta wines. I know Viñardanza, I knew the for example 904, but I never tried. And it was my first experience like a classic Rioja wines. It was incredible, and I said, okay, my the best wines from Rioja always must be the classic Rioja wines.
Awesome. Wonderful. And so let's talk about Rioja itself. Can you kind of give my listeners a like kind of background of where it's located, how big it is, what the region itself is like?
Well, Rioja is a special DO in Spain. It's located just in the north of Madrid. It's very close to the sea, just very close to the Atlantic Ocean. But it's special because in a few kilometers we have all of the water influence. We have a different soils, and in my opinion, we have the best place to grow the Tempranillo. In my opinion, Rioja could be the best place for made wine. This is special for the particular soil, the particular site in Spain, and I think could be the best place to make wine in Spain. Okay.
And you had mentioned Tempranillo because they go hand in hand. I think they're, basically one and the same. So, what is special about Tempranillo? Like, what is that grape like that just makes it love Rioja so much and Rioja love Tempranillo so much?
Well, the Tempranillo is a very special variety of to make wines. Rioja have something special for the Tempranillo. First, the weather condition. The Atlantic influence is very important for grow the Tempranillo in a very good condition for make specific classic Rioja wines. Another specific thing in Rioja is the soils. We have a blend of different kind of soils, and the Tempranillo so of different things. For us, the Tempranillo is probably the best variety in Rioja because the soils, the influence of the water, give us the complexity, the elegance, the aging capacity of the wines.
Very nice. And it's how much in the plantings is Tempranillo? Like in
Sorry, Lauren.
Rioja?
Sorry, we have a problem with your question with the connection. You can repeat the question?
Yeah, so Tempranillo is that's what Rioja is known for in terms of all of the vines that are planted there. Like what percentage would you say is Tempranillo?
Well, in all of Rioja, more than 90% is Tempranillo. The rest
Okay.
is another varieties. In our case, in La Rioja Alta vineyards, we have more or less 80% of Tempranillo, but we have another varieties like Garnacha is other very important variety for Rioja, and we have 100 hectares of Garnacha to make Viñardanza, and we have other important variety like is Graciano. Graciano is a typical variety of Rioja. We use the Graciano to make Grandes Reservas. We haven't a monovarietal wine of Graciano. We have the Graciano to make Grandes Reservas. In all of Rioja, there are another varieties, white and red. But in our opinion, the most important variety is the Tempranillo, the Garnacha, the Graciano, and the Mazuelo too.
Okay.
The rest of the varieties like experimental, like something special for specific wines.
Oh, okay. So we in Paso Robles we have a Graciano faux pas. So we had a we well technically people bought vines that they thought were Movedra and they planted it and they've been selling it as Moved, selling it, and then DNA has just realized that it's Graciano. So we've been selling Graciano's been growing very well in Paso Robles. We just thought it was Moved. So it's called the
Yeah.
Graciano faux pas. But
In Rioja, in our opinion, the Graciano, the best is when you blend with the Tempranillo,
yeah.
because both improving the quality of the wine.
All right.
I try a lot of monovarietal of Graciano, and this wine they are very good. But in my opinion, is not something special. It's not something that representing the Rioja wines.
Right. It's the
It's
blending that makes it. It's the blending that makes it beautiful.
Yes, I think when you blend it with the Tempranillo, the result is wonderful.
And so, can you can you talk a little bit about the wine history in Rioja, how it's come about to where it is today?
Well, like I told you before, Rioja is special for the vineyard for the Tempranillo. We planted the vineyard since the Romans eras, the Roman times. But in my opinion, the most specific, the most important thing in our history is just in the end of the 19th century, when the Phylloxera crisis came to Europe, first to the French vineyard and after that to the Rioja vineyard. For us, this was amazing because was the year that the Rioja Alta was founded, for example, and all around of the trail station in the Claro City, we have another wineries in this special site, and I think this this particular time was important because the wines of the Rioja in this time was very bad in quality, but high in quantity, in volume. But when the French influence for us was incredible because the quality of the wines of the Rioja was improving every year. For example, the French influence was, for example, the aging in barrel, the racking system, the bottle, and for us was very important. Our quality was amazing, and it was important because our wines we can show to the export market, and the people in the export market said, okay, French wines they are fantastic, but Rioja wine was wonderful.
And so, the Rioja wine district has three subregions, and
Yes.
the La Rioja Alta SA you have wineries in each of those
We,
subregions.
we have Rioja, like you said, Rioja have three sub-areas. Rioja Alta is the highest lands in Rioja, just in the west of Rioja, just when the River Ebro entry in the valley. The soil in this part they are clay with very poor and the influence the Atlantic is amazing, and probably the best vineyard for my wines they are located in Rioja Alta. They are not, the other part is Rioja Alavesa. Rioja Alavesa is just between the mountains and the river. The influence of the Atlantic, we have Rafa, una frontera. What do you say, frontera? It's like a wall,
Okay.
like a wall between the vineyards and the sea. And the vineyards they are more protected. And in this part of Rioja, the soils are very poor, calcareous, and the vineyards are smaller. And the quality of the grapes is amazing. They are bigger than the rest of Rioja, in our opinion. And the other part of Rioja is the Rioja Oriental, or in the past Rioja Baja. in this part, the influence is more Mediterranean. We have more sunny days. We have more is the driest part of Rioja with less days with rain, and the influence in the vineyard in the Tempranillo is completely different of the rest of Rioja. More structure, more alcohol content, less acidity, and in our opinion, less aging capacity.
And then when you're blending your wines, do the grapes come from the three different regions, or do you tend to pick from region to region?
It's something special for our wines because you can find in our bottles the three different parts of Rioja. In the case, for example, of Viñardanza is a blend of two varieties and two climates, two soils. 80% came from Rioja Alta and 20% of the Gamacha came from Rioja Baja. But the most specific thing for this kind of wine is that the altitude of our vineyards, they are in the similar altitude. And we have a very good freshness wines. We have a very good fruity wines for me with our kind of wines.
And now, with Tempranillo to the side, what is your favorite other grape to work with other than Tempranillo?
I love the Graciano.
Eh,
Graciano is specific. It's very tricky to brown. It's very tricky to elaborate to do, but not every year we have a very good Graciano.
okay.
This is one of the reasons because we haven't every year 904 or 819 because the quality of the Graciano is not very good to blend with the Tempranillo.
Oh,
And
okay.
I love the Graciano because it's very difficult to understand, very difficult to have a very good Graciano.
So you like the challenge.
Yeah, I like the challenge. Yes. This is one of the reasons because I love this job.
That's all. You got to love what you do. All right.
Yeah.
Then it's not a job. So going back to Tempranillo, can you tell us a little bit about the grape itself? Like, is it thick skinned? Is it thin skinned? Is it early harvest, late harvest?
Well, the Tempranillo, you can find different players when you talk about the Tempranillo. For example, in the case of Tempranillo Rioja Alta, you can find the skin of the Tempranillo is soft than, for example, in the case of Rioja Baja or in the case of another DO in Spain, like Ribera del Duero. The tannins of the skin, they are more velvety, they are more elegant. The aromas, the flavors of the Tempranillo in the highlands, they are more fruity, more freshness, more elegant. In the case of the Rioja Baja, for example, the aroma is like a jam, like a marmalade, a fruit marmalade. I'm not sure if you can understand me. And the tannic is hardest than the case of the Rioja Alta. I prefer the Tempranillo from Rioja Alta because the elegance, the velvety of the tannic, the softness is more easy it's more easy for us to make Rioja classic wines.
And in those regions with those differences between the tannins and structures, are they all the same clone? Are they?
In some cases, they are the same clones, but the soil is completely different.
So it's adapting.
And the expression is different in the case of the and in some cases, it's different clones too.
Okay. And then what about in terms of its growth? Is it? Do you need to do a lot of canopy management to it? Does it grow out of control if you don't management or like?
In the case of the Rioja Baja, the Tempranillo need water and water and water, and the production of the yield is higher than, for example, in the case of the Rioja Alta. In Rioja Alta, you have the rains is more with a very good balance around all of the year, and you don't need the water, the extra water for the Tempranillo. And the expression of the Tempranillo in Rioja Alta is the grapes are smaller and they are more concentrated. The flavors, the aromas, and the elegance of the wine.
Okay. And so if somebody came up to you and said, "Okay, so I've got this bottle of La Rioja Alta. What style is this? How would you describe your winemaking style?"
Well, in the case of 904, it's a classic Rioja wines. It's very classic. And in my opinion, what is a classic Rioja? Classic for me, representing when you taste a wine, elegant, freshness, with a long aging capacity. The tan is very soft, but you sense that the tan is, but they are very velvety. They are um, very soft, no? Very elegant. You can drink one bottle every day and you enjoy it always. And something special of the Rioja Classic wine. Now you can drink a bottle, but if you maintain the bottle in your home 5 or 6 years later, the wine improving a lot, and you find different flavors, you find different aromas. It's like a bouquet. In my opinion, this is the most important thing of the Rioja Classic wine: the elegance, the velvety, the aftertaste, the longer aftertaste.
Okay.
Something special, something that you remember always.
Now, so this wine is the Grand Reserva 904, and if I can get it right in front of my face, it might be able to show on camera. Okay, so can you explain what a Grand Reserva by definition needs to be, and then the significance of the 904?
Okay, Gran Reserva. Well, the history of I can tell you something before. The Rioja Alta was located in Aro, in the train station in A90. And the reason, because the reason of the name of A90 brand is that just the year of the foundation. The Rioja Alta was founded by 5 families. One of them was the Ardanza family. In this time, they have their own winery called Bodegas Ardanza. In 1904, they decided to join the two wineries and founded La Rioja Alta SA. To celebrate this particular event, they released a new brand called Gran Reserva 904. This is the history of the brand, more or less, and with my English.
It was perfect. It was perfect.
Yes.
It was perfect. And you brought up the Harrow district, and that's a significant aspect to how well the Rioja has grown. Right, it really centered around that train being able to come in the Harrow district. Right, was that the kind of the birthplace of the region?
Yes, was the the train station in Aro was very important for the history of Rioja, because, like I told you before, the most ancient wineries in Rioja, they are located in this place. And the specific thing for these wineries was the French influence. All of these winery, for example, Cune or Bodegas Bilbainas or López Heredia, they made another kind of wine. They made wines with high quality, wines that they can compare, for example, with the wine of Bordeaux or Burgundy, or of the best wine of the world. And they decide, we have less quantity but more quality, and this was very important for us. Probably the most important wineries in Rioja, they are located in this particular site, the train station in Aro
And
Street.
you guys were actually one of the first wineries in that region, correct?
Yes,
Mm.
yes, we are one of the most ancient wineries in Rioja. We was founded in 1890, just 131 years old, and we have a long history. For us, it's very important, long history because the owners of the company, they are now in the management of the company, and they have the same philosophy of the first time. Just made every year the best wine for our customer.
And the motto kind of takes that history to heart. It says, founded in the 19th century, growing in the 20th, and still passionate in the 21st.
Yes,
So I mean, that takes everything, and it says, we were one of the starters, but we're still going strong, and the passion is still there. So,
yeah.
uh,
It's exciting story. Guys, it's only a few products can say something similar. They born in 150 years ago. They are growing in the 19th century. In the 20th for us was important because we start to export our wines to the rest of the wines. The 2000 was important because we improving the facility, and now the 2001 century is amazing because now we are focused in improving our vineyard, improving and build the best vineyard to maintain the quality of our wine and to improving the quality of our wine. And this is amazing, something special for the rest of the industry or the business on the world. And this is something special for the wine.
so many wineries that the big word of this year or last year also is sustainability. And are you practicing sustainability? Is it something you're going towards? Have you been doing it?
Sorry, I don't understand the question. Sorry.
Sustainability or organic farming.
No, no, in this moment. No, in
Okay.
this moment. We are very, for us, the environment is very important. We are reducing the use of the chemical products because for us it's something not very good for the vineyard, it's not something very good for the water. But in this moment, we haven't biodynamic or organic wine. We have, but just like experimental vineyards, more than 14 hectares of Tempranillo in organic production. But it's not to release a new brand with organic wine. It's just to understand better and better the product.
Right. So you're going in that direction just to learn for yourself what makes things better for that environment.
Yes.
Right. Excellent.
Sorry, the connection is close. Sorry, the connection now is good.
Better. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I guess it's gonna leave them. All right. So let's talk about you a little bit. So you started with La Rioja Alta in 1996. So you've been around for a while. But this was your first wine job.
It was my first job. It's my unique job, and I love my job. And to me, it's a special joy work in La Rioja Alta because every day is completely different of the rest of the days. And for us, for the winemakers, the owners always say, "Okay, your job is very good, but must be better." And for us, this is something very good. And for example, I have all to make very good wine. I haven't a problem with the money, and I haven't a problem with the facilities. I haven't a problem with the bottles. The owners of the company say that, okay, if your opinion is this is the best to make very good wine, you have this, and this is very,
Ah.
you have very important for the winemaker. And to me, every day is completely different, and it's exciting. I more than 25 years old in the winery, and I don't remember 2 days similar. Even the harvest is completely different every year.
Right.
Okay,
Do you enjoy being in the winery or in the vineyard more?
I prefer the winery. I prefer the winery. I love stay in the vineyard because, for example, this time is amazing because the vineyard is growing, is grow up, and it's amazing. Like for example, the leaf is new leaf. You can walk on the vineyard and see the production, or you can see the lands is amazing. But in my opinion, the work in the winery is harder, and you need thinking more about the history of the wine. Maintain every year the quality of the wine is not easier. You have study a lot. You have testing a lot of wine. You have testing a lot of laws, and separate this wine is not good for our wines. Okay, it's not good.
And so when you're harvesting, how are you keeping everything separate? You have your blocks and your regions, and is everything staying separate? And then you're tasting and blending right before bottling, or are you?
Yeah. Well, we have different plots in different parts of Rioja. We elaborate this plot separately, and just we made different blends. The first blend is just before the wines entry into the barrels, but
Oh,
the
okay.
most important blend is just before of the bottling, because you have the raw material to make the last blending. And if the quality of the wine, for example, in a barrel is not very good, we decide separate, and the production of this brand is lower. Or if the quality is very bad, we don't release this brand. It's very important, this last blend for us.
Okay, excellent. And so on your website, you also have a page that says like ask you questions, so like people can ask you questions. So just
Okay.
curious, what have you gotten any like really strange questions on that website, on that web page?
Okay. Well, it's amazing. I think I answered, for example, more than, I don't remember very well, but more than 5,000 questions in 3 years.
Oh my
And I
gosh.
have very tricky questions. But one of them, I love this question because a children asked me how he can make a wine, because his father was a wine lover. He wants to make a wine to give to your parents for his birthday. It was amazing. It was
Oh,
only 5 years old. And
oh, that's so cute.
yes, it was amazing, and was very funny, and it was fantastic. But I have a lot of questions. More of them, they are the people that they produce their little bottles, and they want to maintain the wine in a very good condition.
Oh, so it's actually more technical questions you get on there.
Not little. But some of them, like the,
The
the the
little
children,
boy.
was amazing. I remember a lot.
Oh, yeah, I would think
And I
that.
was and I went after, because I said, okay, what's the result of your wine? And my last question, okay, if the result of your wine is not very good, no problem. I send you a bottle for your palate.
Ah. Oh, I can imagine how that sticks to you. That's so cute. That's adorable. All right, so La Rioja Alta has actually different brands under it. So can we break them down a little bit? So we'll start off with Vina
Viñardanza.
Ardanza.
Yes, we have in the Rioja Alta, we have a different brands. We have one of them is Viñalberdi. It's a reserva. Is 100% Tempranillo. Is could be our entry level wine, but the quality of this one is incredible. The other one is Viñardanza. This is the previous, this is the bottle. This is the most important brand for us, because all of the people know us like the name of Viñardanza. Viñardanza is a blend of two varieties: Tempranillo from highlands, the middle of Rioja, 80%, and 20% of garnacha of Rioja Oriental or Rioja Alta, but with a very high altitude. And the blend is the results a very freshness wine. We have three Grande Reservas, and I'm not sure, but in my opinion, could be one of the unique winery in Spain with three Grande Reservas. Grande Reservas, by law, is a wine with 2 years in barrel and 3 years in bottle and less. But in our case, it's more time in barrels and more time in bottles because we are looking for more classic wine. In the case of Viñarana, it's the new Gran Reserva. It's a blend. Yes, it's a new Gran Reserva. We produced Viñarana in the past like a Reserva with a different blend of varieties. Now we have this Gran Reserva. This Gran Reserva just was thinking for the new classic wine consumer. This kind of consumer, they love the wine. They love the fruity wine. They love the easy drink wines, but probably don't understand very well what is a Rioja classic wine. In our opinion, Viñarana could be the first step to understand our wines. The other one is 904. Is yes, it's a blend of two varieties, Tempranillo and Graciano, aging 4 years in American barrels and 4 years in bottle just before their release. And the more this wine 904 is very very specific wine in our company because we only produce 5 or 6 years every 10 years, no more. In the case of A90 is the more specific wine, is the more classic wine. Is a wine with 6 years in barrels and 6 years in bottle. Just will release the wine.
Oh.
It's very important that the consumer does understand what is our Gran Reservas. For example, if the quality of the wine is not around, is not very good, we don't release. Even the market, they are demanding this wine because for us the quality of the wine is more important than the demanding of the market.
And so this vintage I have here is 2011.
Yes.
So is this your what is your last vintage of this, or is this the last vintage?
This is the last vintage.
Oh
11.
wow, wow. Okay, and you said it was in bottle for 6 years before you released it.
No, it was 4 years in barrel
4 years.
and 4 years in barrel and 4 years in bottle. Just we start to release, just in the middle.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Okay. Well.
Yes, it's a blend of Tempranillo, 90%, and 10% of Graciano. If you taste the wine, you will see the color. The color is amazing. It's a wine 10 years old, and you won't see the evolution of the wines. You will see the amazing color. You will see the freshness on the noise, the velvet, the powerful.
Yes.
I remember what the tobacco box, the fruity, the
it is lively.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's easy to drink. The tannics is very soft, very elegant, very velvety. But in my opinion, they are very good balance, very freshness. I am speaking with you, and I maintain the freshness in my mouth because the elegance of the Rioja Classic is amazing. I think it's now fantastic to drink, but probably in the next 4 or 5 years, probably could be better.
Really,
in my opinion.
It is still it's still lively. It's very lively. It's the tobacco, the fruit is on the nose. It's very pronounced. And,
Yeah, it's very,
and you're looking at it. You're looking at a 10-year-old wine here, and it's not at all aged. What I'm trying to say. It doesn't smell old. It doesn't taste old. It's still vibrant.
yes. Something special for the Rioja wines, for the classic, this kind of Gran Reservas, is you never find the evolution. You never find something tired. You never find something old. In my opinion, the freshness of this wine is incredible. and probably in the next years could be fine, could be better.
Be better.
My opinion now is a little bit tannic. In my opinion, it need a little bit more tannin bottle to around the wine.
It's it you can taste the tannins, but like you're saying, it's not overpowering at this point, so it's definitely enjoyable at this point. But you can see as it's going to soften a little bit in a few years that it's just going to make everything pop even more. The flavors themselves pop because they're there. The fruit is there. It's forward. The tobacco is there. And it's lovely, but I see what you mean that it in a few years it's going to be exceptional. Now it's fantastic. In a few years it's going to be exceptional.
Something special of our wines is that you smell something now in your glass. You can smell something, but with it pass more time in your glass, you can discover another other kind of aromas, and it's incredible. I recommend it. Never decant our wines because our wines it haven't sediments, and I prefer you open the bottle just 10 or 15 minutes before of the dinner and enjoy it with the wine in your glass because you discover a lot of aromas, a lot of expression of the wines, and never find something tired, something evolution.
And what would you it's actually very light wine. It's not a full-bodied wine, so it's good. It's got a lot of variability for what you can pair with it. What's your favorite pairing with this wine?
Uh, I love this wine when I finish my dinner. It's like my last glass just before go to the bed because it's because you take something special. It's probably when I celebrate something special, for example, the birthday of my son, of my daughter, or of my wife, or my parents. Okay, the best special day is always with 904. I think you can combine very well, for example, with the lamb, with the for example with the dessert, going with something with chocolate. I can could be a very good pairing.
Oh, all right. See, and that's not always an easy pairing. People always think it's chocolate and wine go hand in hand. It's actually
Chocolate
not.
could be a very good dessert with chocolate. Could
Uh,
be a very good finish for the
Good
dinner.
finish for the night. All right, that's
Yes.
it. That's if the bottle lasts that long. So we need to get two bottles so that we have some to go with the dessert. and and now you did you hinted a little bit about the numbers.
The connection was
I said you hinted a bit about the numbers on the bottle. The
sorry.
nine.
Sorry, the connection was close. You can repeat the question?
Oh, I just saying that you brought up a little bit about the numbers on the 904 and the 890. Can you just tell
Okay,
that
the name
again?
of the yes, the name of A90 came from the year of the foundation of the company, and one of the family of the founded families of the company of the La Rioja Alta was the Ardanza family, and this family have in this time their winery called Bodegas Ardanza. In 1904, they decided to join the two wineries and make a new winery called La Rioja Alta SA. To celebrate this particular event, they decide release a new brand called Gran Reserva 904.
Okay, so
And the name came from this particular event.
right. So it's back tribute to the history of the history of the winery.
Yes, yes.
So also some pretty darn good news that La Rioja Alta SA was just named to one of the 50 most admired wine brands by Drinks International. So congratulations! That must have been some exciting news.
Was for us was very important because for us is the recognize the history of the winery, recognize the focus, the effort that the winery, the owners made every year to improving the quality of the wines. For us was very, very important. And we are very happy with this event. And to celebrate this event, we open a bottle of 904.
There you go. There you go. Great celebratory wine. And so, like, can people visit the wineries? I mean, pre-COVID, or I don't know where you are with COVID now, but can people come visit?
Sorry, the connection again is bad. Okay.
Can people come visit you?
Yes, the people can visit that. Now it's a very tricky days for us because the COVID
COVID.
is very hard here in Rioja. But probably in the next month we will be better, and they can visit the winery. They can try our wines. They can talk with the winemakers. They can even eating in the winery, and they can take, for example, a lunch. They can taste very good wines, and they can enjoy with the special site in Rioja. I recommending for everybody that one time in your life you must visit the Barrio de la Estación, and you can visit the La Rioja Alta.
All right, you heard it. You got to do it before definite bucket list. So, in terms of your job, are you the winemaker for like the head winemaker for and then the other wineries that
Yes.
come under?
Yes, I the chief of the winemakers, but we have other winemakers. For example, we have other winemakers in Rías Baixas. In Rías Baixas, we produce a white wine called Lagar de Cervera. It's a monovarietal wines of Albariño. It's a very freshness, very fruity wines, a lovely wine, and it's fantastic for this time. We have other winemakers for Torre de Oña and Aster called Alejandro Lopez, and they are focused in these two wineries. And the idea is maintain and improving the quality of our wines. And we have other winemakers in La Rioja Alta, and they are focused in different areas of the winery, in the barrels, and the vineyards, or other things.
And so you're traveling to all of the different regions. How far is each region from the next?
Sorry, I don't the connection was bad. What is the question?
So you travel through all of the wineries. Like,
Yes.
how far is one region to the next for you to visit one winery to the next winery?
For example, between La Rioja Alta and Torre de Oña, it's very close. It's only 40 kilometers. It's
Oh,
just half an hour by car. In the case of the Ribera del Duero, it's close to. It's just 1 hour and a half by car. Just less than 200 kilometers. In the case of Rio de Baixas, you need more time. You need 6 hours by car to go to this to go to this one. Yes, this winemakers on the road.
yes, yes. All right. So, can you tell me how people can find La Rioja? Maybe Rafa, maybe you can come in and tell us where we can find these bottles in the United States.
Oh,
Uh,
in most of the main wine stores, okay. Depends on the states where you located. For you are in California, Lori.
I'm in California, yes.
Okay, in California, for example, you have stores like K&L of wine merchants, and I mean in all the main retailers, you can find our wines basically. Yes.
Okay. Is there anything on the website where people can go and plug in their zip code to tell them where to find the wines?
Not really. No, we don't have that.
Oh,
No,
no.
but
Okay.
it's a good idea, though, Lori. Okay, so let's put it to work. Okay. Yes, but we don't have that you can put in the web page zip code and to give you a store where you can buy the wine. No, the best thing I suggest that people write us, write the winery. We have info at riojalta.com, and then if they ask retailers in their area, we will facilitate that for them.
Okay. That I'm sure people will have no problem sending an email to a winery.
Yes.
And while they're sending that email, they can ask Julio a question on his page.
Okay.
Well, I want to thank you both for coming on and taking an hour out of your, I'm sure, busy schedule to come tell me about Rioja and to allow me to taste this beautiful wine that is going very quickly in my glass. And I did Coravin it, Julio, so it's going to go back into the cellar, and I will sample it again in a little bit and see how it evolves. But it's beautiful right now, and I would like to thank you both for coming on. And I say slancha, which is cheers.
Ching,
So ching ching, but
ching,
slancha.
ching.
Thank you
Yes.
so much to both of you for coming on and for these wines. They are lovely, and I will let you all know when the podcast is live.
Okay. I would like to invite you to visit the Rioja Alta and to taste the other wines with us and enjoy with a very good experience. Like I told you before, one time in your life, you must visit the Rioja Alta.
Well, I definitely want to come. I am, I'm so excited. I'm literally chomping at the bit to travel. So I might take you up on that a lot sooner than you're expecting.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
thank you so much, and enjoy.
Thank you so much, Lori.
Yes,
Thank you very much. Enjoy. Bye
slancha.
bye.